The AI you use today goes dead the second you close the tab. But there's a kind that keeps working after you've walked away, doing whole jobs on its own, and they're called AI agents. So in this video, I'll explain exactly how they work and guide you through building your first one from scratch, so you can put it to work while you get on with your day. If you've used ChatGPT or Claude, you already know how a normal chatbot works. You ask it something, it answers, and the second you close the tab, it forgets you and does nothing until you come back. An AI agent flips that around. Instead of waiting for you to ask, you give it a goal once and it goes off and does the work itself. It works through the steps one by one and it remembers you the next time. A chatbot answers questions, an agent does jobs. That one change is why agents suddenly became such a big deal. Ask a chatbot what's in the news today and you get a paragraph back, and that's the end of it. Hand an agent the same thing and you say, every morning at 7, read the news and text me the 3 headlines that matter. From then on, it just happens, without you touching it again. And because it remembers what you tell it, you only ever explain yourself once. The more you use it, the more it already knows about how you like things done. That's the real shift. An assistant that keeps working for you even after you've closed the app. This only became possible recently because the models finally got good enough to run a whole task from start to finish, where a year or two ago they could only help with a piece of it. The tools to build them only just caught up, which is why agents can seem to appear out of nowhere. Once you see an agent as something that does whole jobs for you, the next thing to understand is what it's made of. Underneath, every agent is built from 4 simple parts, and once you know them, agents stop being so mysterious. Start with its instructions, which are just a few lines telling it who it is and how to behave. Something like, you're my research assistant, keep everything short and to the point. Its tools are the things it's allowed to do, like search the web, read a file, or send you a message. Its memory is how it holds on to what you've told it, so your name, your job, and your preferences carry over instead of resetting every time. And its trigger is whatever sets it going. That can be a message from you, a schedule like every morning at 8, or an event like a new email landing. Put those 4 together and the mysterious AI agent is really just those pieces working as one. Where an agent earns its place is the moment you point it at something real. You could have it watch a competitor and message you only when something changes that actually matters, instead of pinging you at every tiny edit. Or point it at a morning's worth of email and let it work out what genuinely needs you today and what can wait. Or hand it a decision, like finding 3 suppliers for a part and telling you which one it'd pick and why. These aren't the rigid, same every time tasks a basic automation already covers. They're the messier ones, and something has to actually think it through. Anything that needs human judgment, or where a wrong move would cost you, you keep for yourself while you're still learning what it can do. The best way to understand all of this is to see it in action and build one ourselves. So that's what we'll do for the rest of the video. To build an agent, you'd normally be wiring a lot of pieces together yourself, but there's a tool that has all 4 parts built in already, and it's called Hermes. It's free and fully open source, and the team behind it is a respected AI lab called Nous Research. The reason it's a great first agent is that the memory, the scheduling, and the learning are all included. So the hard engineering is already done for you, and all you do is tell it what you want. That's a huge deal for a beginner, because it means you can build something useful today without knowing how any of it works. On top of that, it connects to hundreds of AI models through OpenRouter, including the big names from OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. So you're never tied to one company, and you can swap the model behind it whenever you like. It's also passed 200,000 stars on GitHub, which is impressive for something this new, and the lab behind it just raised again at a $1.5 billion valuation. So this isn't a project that's about to disappear on you. There's one catch though, and it's the reason you can't just run an agent off your laptop. An agent only works while it's switched on. A laptop shuts off the moment you close the lid, so one running on your own machine would stop the second you stepped away. To keep going while you're away, it has to live somewhere that stays powered on no matter what. The answer is a VPS, which is just a computer that lives in the cloud and stays powered on, so your agent keeps running even when you're not around. Setting a server up used to be the scary technical part, but that setup now takes about 2 minutes. The quickest way to get Hermes running is Hostinger's one-click template, and the link in the description takes you straight to the deploy screen. The coupon Yuri and its discount are already applied, so there's nothing for you to type in. On that screen, the plans sit on the right, and it's already set to the one called KVM2. That plan gives you 2 processor cores, 8 GB of memory, and 100 GB of fast storage. That's comfortably more than enough for Hermes. The billing period starts on 24 months. 12 is the one I'd pick because you keep most of the saving at that length. Just under that, you can switch on daily backups and choose your server location, and it already picks the closest one for you, so you can leave that alone. Look over the summary on the right, then hit continue. From there, you pay and make your account. The next screen is the one part you don't want to rush. It hands you a username and a password. Leave the username as Hermes, but that password is generated just for you, so copy it and save it somewhere safe this second. You'll need it to get back into your server later. You click deploy, Hostinger builds the server and installs Hermes for you, and a couple of minutes later, your dashboard loads. On there, Hermes shows up under a section called Docker Manager. You'll see something called traffic near it, but that only handles the networking, so you can ignore it completely. Your Hermes project has 4 random characters on the end of its name, something like Hermes-Agent-MNOL. You'll want those in a minute, so keep that tab open. Up in the top right, there's a button called Terminal, and clicking it opens a window called the Web Terminal. That button opens a plain black window with a blinking cursor. That's the one part of the build that looks scary, but you only pass through here once. The Web Terminal is just a window where you type a few short commands to your server, and you only ever touch it this once during setup. First, I'll open the Hermes folder, so I'll paste in this command with those 4 characters from the dashboard on the end and press enter. With the folder open, I'll paste a command that opens Hermes itself, press enter, and now I'm talking to it directly. From there, I'll type Hermes setup, hit enter, and the setup wizard takes over. It asks whether I want the quick setup or the full one, and I'll take the full one so we can see a bit more of what's going on. Its first question is which AI provider to use, and I'll choose Open Router. The reason is that one Open Router key reaches hundreds of models at once, and you can switch between them later with a single command, so nothing you pick here locks you in. To get the key, I'll head to openrouter.ai, make a free account, and click Create API Key. That's the secret key that lets Hermes reach the models for you. While you're there, I'd set a spending limit, something like $25 a month, so there's no way to spend more than you meant to while you're testing. You'll also need to add a little credit to the account, because the key won't do anything until there's a balance behind it. With the key created, I'll paste it into Hermes and pick the model it runs on. If you want to keep this free, OpenRouter has free models you can start on, so you can get it working before you spend anything. If you want stronger results, something like GPT 5.6 or Claude Sonnet handles most jobs well, and a normal task costs somewhere between a few cents and a couple of dollars, depending on its size. There's a third option though, and it's the one I'd take, called Auto Beta. It isn't in the list, so you choose the custom model option and type OpenRouter Auto Beta, and from then on, OpenRouter picks the model for each job instead of you. It keeps the small stuff on a cheap model and only switches to a pricey one when a job needs it, so your bill stays low without any effort from you. From clicking deploy to Hermes being ready to talk is about 10 minutes, and most of that is just the server setting itself up. Right now, Hermes is running, but the only way to reach it is that terminal window, and keeping that open forever would defeat the whole point, so the last step is getting it onto your phone. The wizard carries straight on, and now it asks which messaging app to connect. The list has Telegram, Discord, Slack, WhatsApp, Signal, and email. I'll pick Telegram because it's free, quick to set up, and works on any device. It needs 2 things, a bot token and your Telegram ID, and both take about a minute. For the token, I'll open Telegram and message an account called BotFather with the command /newbot. It walks me through naming the bot. The username just has to end in the word bot. At the end, it gives me a long token that I drop into Hermes. For the ID, there's a second account called User Infobot. A quick /start there sends back the number I need, which also goes into Hermes. Hermes asks if that should be my home channel, which is just where it sends its scheduled results, and I'll press Y. That finishes the wizard, but there's one last step before it's live. You switch on the gateway, which is the piece that holds the Telegram connection open so your messages reach Hermes and it can reply. So I'll paste the gateway command and press enter. Now I'll open my bot in Telegram and send it a message, and there it is. Hermes writes back. Right there, you've officially built and deployed your first AI agent. Everything from here is just teaching it what you want, and it all happens inside this same chat with no more terminal. Now that it's built, the first thing I do is give it a job. I'll type, every morning at 7, send me the day's top 3 AI headlines. Hermes sets the schedule, works out where to send it, and reads it back to confirm. From tomorrow, that brings brief turns up on my phone every morning without me asking once. That's the moment it stops being a chatbot and starts being an agent, doing a job on a schedule on its own. You can pile more on the same way. A Friday summary of your week, or a nudge to chase unpaid invoices, whatever you keep forgetting. The first time one of these turns up on your phone by itself, it feels unlike anything a chatbot does, because it's yours and it's doing the work without you. It also picks up skills as it goes. Say you spend 10 minutes getting something just right, like turning your rough notes into a tidy summary. Hermes remembers how you did it. Next time, you just ask for it by name and it handles it in one step. And its memory works the same way. So you tell it once that you like short, direct answers, and it holds on to that for every job after. There are two things worth locking down before you trust it with anything that matters, and neither takes more than a minute. Those two things decide whether this stays a toy or something you rely on, keeping it safe and keeping it cheap. On safety, Hermes is locked down from the start. First, the only accounts that can talk to it are the ones you approve during setup, so a random person who finds your bot gets nothing back. Second, it runs in its own locked down space on the server, cut off from the rest of your system, so a mistake can't reach anything else. And third, before it does anything destructive, like wiping a file, it stops and asks you to confirm first. So read those messages before you say yes. For your first week, stick to Telegram and pick 1 or 2 jobs that fix something annoying you right now. Leave anything sensitive like email or banking switched off until you trust how it behaves. Cost comes down to one habit: matching the model to the job. There's no reason to have your priciest model answering simple questions, so you leave the cheap or free ones on the routine stuff and save the strong models for the hard thinking. In Telegram, you can type /model to see what you're on and switch anytime, or tell it to run one job on a stronger model and leave the rest cheap. Hermes itself is free and open source, so the only things you ever pay for are the server it runs on and the small cost of the AI it uses. And now you've got your own agent running by itself, doing its job while you get on with your day. And the only reason this felt easy is that Hostinger turns the whole server into a single click. The deploy screen already has your plan and the discount waiting, so there's nothing to set up yourself. Open the first link in the description and give your new agent its first job. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.